everybody, my name is Infinite Gamer, and with the brand new movie Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City releasing, I'm going to be taking a look at the history of Raccoon City. As always, if you guys like this video, hit the like button to appease the YouTube gods. Let's get into the video. So, we start our timeline with the 1950s, where nothing happens. This is just the earliest date that I could find for Raccoon City. Now, I have to rant here for a second, because I can't for the life of me find the establishing date of the Raccoon City. I was literally looking through billboard signs, and they don't have establishing dates on them. When was Raccoon City founded? I don't know! What? Capcom, why haven't you done anything about this? I'm so angry that I could not find an establishing date. This triggers me. Okay, now with that done, actual history. Around this time, Raccoon City started experiencing a small amount of growth with the arrival of a small company that you may or may not have heard of. You know, Umbrella Corporation, ring a bell? No? Alright, never mind. But, just to sum it up, it's a pharmaceutical company who has no evil plans to take over the world at all. I mean, why would they want to take over the world? During this time, the tram system was built to connect Raccoon City with the Arklay Mountains. Coming to the end of the decade, 1969, a subway system was built in Raccoon City by the Kite Brothers, which can be seen in Resident Evil 3 Remake for a short puzzle. Another building was built during this year, this building being the RPD. This is the main setting for Resident Evil 2 and 3. And a little fun fact about the RPD is it's a repurposed museum, which explains a lot of the statues and odd architecture that can be found throughout the RPD itself. This was the best decade for Raccoon City, seeing as it had a huge economic boost with the help of Umbrella Corp. This would allow Umbrella to financially take over the entire city. Raccoon quickly became a touristing spot. Touristing spot. Because of this, the subway system would have to expand to 8 new stations to deal with all the new people coming through. Meanwhile, outside the city, Queen Leech was being developed as a contingency plan in case the scientists developing it would ever be killed by Umbrella. With every upside, there is a downside. Raccoon City was affected by the 1990 to 1991 recession. Now, for those of you who don't know, the 1990 recession was a real thing. This is where the US inflation went up along with the unemployment rate. Thankfully for the fictional world of Resident Evil, their fake mayor had a plan to fix some of the unemployment. He had a plan to build a hospital to create more jobs in the area, and the people funding the project was no other than Umbrella. The hospital was finished in 1992, and in 1996, Umbrella would sink even more money into a private law enforcement team called STARS. This stands for
Special Tactics and Rescue Service.
And the reasoning behind this is basically so Umbrella had some bodyguards for all their misdeeds. Sometime before the events of Resident Evil 0, Queen Leech escapes and finally goes to do her job, which is to kill Umbrella. So of course she goes and attacks the Arklay Labs, which is the Resident Evil mansion for those who don't know. Her attack leads to the lab being contaminated by the T-virus, causing all of the workers there to get infected. Being dazed by the infection, the scientists let out a pack of Cerberus, aka zombie dogs, that run rampant and infect some people living in the nearby area. This leads to the infected people attacking others, and as any sane person would do, they report it to the authorities. STARS Bravo team gets sent out to investigate these reports. Little did they know, this is just the beginning of the end. On September 5th, 1998, an Umbrella treatment center near the sewer plant was contaminated. This would soon lead into the sewer plant itself. With a treatment center contaminated, a large group of people would become infected and need to be sent to the hospital we talked about earlier. This would quickly fill up the hospital with infected patients by September 10th. On September 23rd, the drinking water in Raccoon City would get infected with the T virus. This causes the entire city to be infected over the course of 3 days. Umbrella now needing to cover their tracks, they deploy a tyrant named Nemesis to wipe out all living members of STARS in the city. And not wanting to waste this opportunity, they send the UBCS to study how effective all the BOWs? Yes. On September 28th, the survivors in the RPD start a plan of escape. A large amount of the survivors manage to successfully escape, leaving only 6 people in the RPD. Chief Irons, Marvin, last name not found, I just don't know how to say it. Ellie Edward, Catherine Warren, which I didn't know this when researching, but is apparently the names of the mayor's daughter who is in the police station. I didn't know that. And Ben Broccoli, and then Sherry Birkin. The late night of September 29th, Leon S. Kennedy and Claire Redfield would enter Raccoon City. Man, talk about bad timing. Umbrella decides that only one super soldier isn't enough to do their job, so what do? Send in another one. This one is known by the name of Mr. X, and his job was to kill all living Pokemon. Oh, oops. I was watching a Pokemon videos while writing this, and I mean all living survivors in the RPD. This now also includes Leon and Claire, along with the other 6 mentioned earlier. After one last night of horror in Raccoon City, the city meets its demise. On the morning of September 30th, the government decides to keep the infection from spreading to nuke all of Raccoon City. Thankfully, all the parties found inside Raccoon City are able to escape, leaving only the undead to be wiped out.